mental health therapist whose focus is on OCD and social phobia. But I'm a therapist who also has a mental health diagnosis. I struggle with depression myself and a small bit of social anxiety. And you're like, well, wait, that means like in social settings, you don't really, but you're up there on the stage, I don't understand. So my social anxiety shows up probably in smaller settings and like more one-on-one conversations, but in public speaking, I'm amazing. First and foremost, okay? So a little bit about my history, because we're supposed to share about our stories. So I was born addicted to heroin, drugs, alcohol, cocaine. My mother had me at approximately 25 years old, and by that time she had already had my brother at 14, and she was already addicted to heroin at that time. I remained in the hospital for about a few months because they would not let her take me home. I needed to be under observation. They needed me to come back to the hospital to test for my abilities to see if I was developing accurately, and I was. And so I am grateful for that, right? There was a lot of ups and downs with me and my mother's relationship, but we have worked through a lot of that, a great deal of that. But I'm grateful that she took the time to put me first, right? Even in the midst of her addiction. I grew up with unstable housing, living with my aunt most of the time, and then back with my mom, back and forth. And at one point, I just got sick and tired of that. And in about the 10th grade, I asked my mom if I could move with an aunt. And at first, she kind of was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to live with you anymore. Like, this isn't my life. I don't want to be wrapped up in what you got going on. I don't want to live here. And she didn't say much after that. And then the next day, she said, well, did you call your aunt? I said, yeah. What would she say? She said I could come. So, well, all right, tell me you'll be there tomorrow. I said, okay. And at that time, my mother had relapsed.
I'm scared. I became a teenage mom who struggled with what I now know was postpartum depression. I lacked the courage to come face to face with the truth of what I felt or to dig deep enough to find the right words. It was my love for reading and writing that led to my journaling. Not only did journaling become my safe place, my judgment-free zone, but it is where I discovered the truth about who I was and who I was not. Journaling taught me to come clean with me. It is where I learned to be honest about my thoughts, my emotions, my fears, my insecurities, and even my heart's desires. Know this, it wasn't journaling alone that set me free. But it was journaling that allowed me to see that I had to write. I had to write down, because sometimes you have to see it before you see it. I had to write to be free. Freedom is a process. Writing is just part of the journey when you decide to be free. And so, this journal, Right to Freedom.
Is that I said, you know what, don't call me Turtle, and don't tell me too much. I said, call me Turtle Man. A little respect my name. You laugh a little bit, but it's a little bit of respect. You know what I mean? Not a whole lot, but it's better than Turtle, right? But what I did there was I took control of my life. And I made a decision in that moment that I wasn't going to let them define me. I was going to at least define myself, at least somewhat. I was going to take somewhat control, right? So, and it's funny because the way this book got written, I was a bowler. I was, I found out I could win scholarship money for bowling, so like I went all in with it, and I was a state champion. I've thrown, so it's a thing called a perfect game in bowling, where you throw 12 strikes in a row. It's called 300. I've thrown 15 of those. So he said, well, yeah, what's up? And then, got a scholarship to the school called Robert Morris University of Chicago. And then I got into sales, and I was like, man, a lot of the things that made me successful as a bowler, because I didn't start off as a champion. I started off as the guy that was trying to fit in, Turtle Man. Like, it wasn't a fast start. But same thing with sales. Like, I got into sales, and I was like, wait, like, some of the same things are resonating. Like, how, like, all I gotta do is outwork the competition. And really, that starts with a decision. Most people struggle with decision. That's like the start, right? So, and it's funny because I was like, God, what are you looking to say today? And he said that there was somebody actually in here that was wanting to write a book. And I kind of already knew that, because the reason why I wrote my book was because I already had the idea, but I drove for Uber for about 6 years. And I just kind of came to an end recently. Got hated. But I gave a ride to this woman, and she was telling me how she wanted to write a book. And, you know, this is before I was an actual motivational speaker, but, you know, I tell people, I want to, you know, tell people good stuff. And I was like, this is old motivational speaker named Les Brown. He said, the wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard. Because that's where people that, you know, had dreams, they had goals, they never did anything with it. They never made a decision to go after it, right? And I'm, you know, pumped up. I'm like, I just told her some good stuff, right? I did a good job, right? And I was like, hey, I guess I'm kind of like a little bit of a hypocrite because I ain't really doing what I'm talking about. So in that moment, I made a decision. I said, I'm gonna write this book. And I've learned from sales and like personal development to not take it like, so sometimes writing a book or doing a big goal is like, it's like this big mountain. And you're like, man, like how am I gonna get all the way up there? And it's like, you got to step like right here.
Right.
All you gotta do.
It's filthy.
The floor is filthy.
I am glad I'm not on the floor of defeat.
I am glad I'm not on the floor of defeat.
And the reason why I asked y'all to say that is because the floor is filthy. As women, as men, life happens. Life happens to all of us. And when life happens, before we can go into any transition, we're looking at ourselves as if we're lost, we're defected, depleted, rejected. All of those feelings and emotions, somewhat like the sister mentioned, as well as Nikita mentioned, those feelings will have us feeling beneath, almost like the scum of the earth. So my job, and it is my job, but it is also my passion, is helping women get up off the floor of defeat. How will I do that? As a mother of 3 young adult children, I have 6 grandchildren. I've been married, divorced, married again. Life has happened. Life happens to each and every one of us. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. I don't care what your education level is. Life is going to happen. And when life happens, yes, we all know about when life happens. Life hands us lemons, we make lemonade. Come on, y'all. We need to make more than lemonade. We need to make it happen for us. So what I do, what I'm so passionate about doing, is helping that woman, one, find herself, discover who she is, and understanding why she needs to get up off the floor of the feet. I don't care what background you come from. I don't care what abusive relationship you came from. God has you here for a reason. There is purpose for your life, for my life, for your life as well as everyone in here. There's purpose. If you have not found that purpose, it's okay. You can be 30, 50 years old and still may not understand why you're here. That is okay. But with like-minded people, I don't want to say women, but with like-minded people like LaVon, who has put this together for us to be able to come together and not only network, but glean off one another, get understanding from one another, we will find our purpose. There's purpose in each and every one of us. It's okay to get all glammed up and look good, but guess what? I work on personal development. So when life happened to me, my transformation, it is real. So when I speak about my book here, Shifted to Speak on Success, it is work that I put in.